and welcome to My Xbox and Me, episode 278. God, I'm getting old. I am one of your hosts, MC Fixer, alongside the one and only Mario Rivera. Clap, 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 clap. Mario, how are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much for having me.
Dude, hey, we got a bunch of news, and
we have so much news.
The important part is you actually care about the news that's here, where I get to play grumpy old Fixer as per usual when it comes to half this stuff. So I'm gonna get to do that because you like Indiana Jones, correct?
Yes, I love Indiana Jones.
You like Star Wars as well, right?
I do love Star Wars as well.
See
yes,
what I mean? This week's perfect for you. I'm just going to be here. I'll throw the balls to you. You can knock them out the park. If you didn't know, My Xbox and Me is our weekly Xbox podcast here on youtube.com/MyXboxandMe. And of course, all podcast services. Get us on Spotify, can get us on iTunes, can get us on Google. Obviously, Amazon's my favorite because I like to shout out to Alexa. Alexa, play My Xbox and Me. If you're playing it out loud, Alexa, play My Xbox and Me. If you've got an Alexa in your house, that's your problem. I'm sorry. And don't forget, you can get the show early over on patreon.com/MCFixer. Have I got anything else, Mary? Who are you, Mary? For those who don't know who you are, I know who you are. We've been friends for a while now, but who the heck are you?
Yes, I am that Mario Rivera. I'm the only Mario Rivera you really need to know about. I, of course, work at DualShockers.com under the YouTube vertical. So youtube.com/DualShockers, plug, where you will see most of our videos, our editorials, our reviews, previews, but also the thing that I kind of took charge of, which, of course, is the discussions. Name will be changed eventually. But at this moment, it's the DualShockers discussions, where it's very podcast-like. It's just I bring on some people, we talk about a topic, we go for as long as we need to, and it's a nice little conversation piece for people. But yeah, that's pretty much where you'll know me from. Obviously, if people here probably saw me on the Kind of Funny Games Daily, been featured on IGN not that long ago, and What's Good Games, and hopefully other things in the future.
Yeah, man, you've been killing it lately, which is nice to see because we've had plenty of conversations, and it's nice for you. You took the initiative, you made it happen. That's people always say it to me. It's like, oh, how can I make it happen? It's like you just start doing it. That's what you do. You start doing it, and people struggle with that first part. Always, it's the doing part. How did you get the confidence to start doing it? You got on IGN, you got on Kind of Funny. You've done stuff that. I feel like it's like me, you, there's a few other people that I think of when I say this, which is like, we've grew up watching IGN, Kind of Funny, all of that. Can you not bib at the window? Like, come on. Like, there's just a bunch of, like, I feel like we're like next class coming through. So how did you get the confidence to go, hey, I can do this. I can be on IGN and know that you can hold your own along with people that we look up to?
To be completely honest, it was all within the spur of the moment, especially the way that I got the opportunities to begin with.
Yeah,
I've been working with DualShockers for about a year at that point, and honestly, I have to also thank you for very much pushing me along the way in terms of like getting me to be like, hey, be seen by people.
Yeah,
because I felt like that tweet got pushed out because of you. So basically, I wrote a tweet at 4:00 in the morning, which roughly would equate to an earlier time for you to see.
Yeah.
Which I felt helped propel it forward while I was asleep. And then, of course, I woke up relatively. Actually, there wasn't nothing right away. It was just I put a tweet out there at 4:00 in the morning. And then a week later, I was on Andy's stream, and then I talked about, hey, thank you so much for even considering, because he was the only one that I saw like it.
Yeah.
And he's like, hold on, don't worry. And I was like, what? And then later I obviously found out. But basically it was me just writing in the 4:00 in the morning, having the best ideas to be up that late.
Yeah.
And decided, like, you know what? I feel like there's a time where we could be represented in this month, especially the time which I did it, which was the Hispanic Heritage Month.
Yeah.
Why not? Why not give this a shot and see if someone will, lift me up? And of course it was Andy Cortez the one who saw it first, brought it to the people at Kind of Funny, and brought me on their platform. Yeah. Which in the same week, once my name was announced, that's obviously when people were like, who's this guy? Started liking, following me. And then, of course, obviously I saw Dornbush saw that. I saw other people have seen that. And then at the same time had me speak up, and I wrote tweet, uh, purely balls. It took balls for it to work because then I wrote to Dornbush. It's like, I love if something happened in PlayStation that day and I was like, hey, I love to talk about your podcast. It's like, okay, cool. I'm like,
yeah,
great, got it. And then I did another thing, and then it just kept going, kept spitballing. So once I did the first appearance at Kind of Funny, then I felt the confidence immediately. The jitters are already out. I already talked to my, hero at the time, right? So once that fell away, then I was totally fine.
I think for me it was the interesting part of I did outside Xbox, then IGN, and then GameSpot. And I feel like you're right, it's that first one that knocks it down. It's like and as soon as you come out the other end of it, it's like, oh, I did it. And then it seems like everybody else sees you as well. And they're sort of like, oh, you did well on that thing. Now you can come and do our thing because you've proven yourself that you can hold your own. Clearly, if they're gonna have you, you're good enough to come onto this. For me, it was that strange thing of like IGN. Like I remember I didn't start watching IGN until about 18. I didn't even know about video game influencers and press or none of that. I didn't even think it didn't even click in my head that people got paid to write magazines. Like that didn't even come in my head. So. Obviously, I always wanted to do Kind of Funny, still yet to do it, and one day, hopefully. But it was that thing of like, once I did IGN, I was like, wow, where do I go from here? So it's like, I look at you and we're talking before, I'm like, where do you go from here? What's next for you? And I'm interested to see what that is, to be honest with you.
Yeah, no, it is for me as well. Very much, as of right now, like I am the lead here at DualShockers. I am running a team. That's where the focus has been. But obviously, when the opportunity arises and people see the work that we're doing, I'm eager to see what we can go. Again, I do want to start developing more for myself too, like more regularly streaming, more maybe working videos on myself. There might be something announced next month. You might find out. I'm not going to say what, but if you looked at my Twitter lately, there's a weird header. So we'll have to talk about that. I'm not allowed to say anything.
Yeah.
But there's stuff in the works, of course.
Fair enough. Let's get into the topic of the show this week. The one we've all been waiting for: new Indiana Jones game in development by Machine Games. This one was taken from myxboxandme.com, written by Zyger, and he says, this morning Bethesda shook the world with their most recent video game announcement. Machine Games, a Swedish developer previously known for developing the Wolfenstein series, will be developing a brand new Indiana Jones title. The game will be in collaboration with Lucasfilm Games, who are currently own the license. Blah 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 blah. Zyger goes on, obviously talking about Bethesda. Todd Howard is going to be producer on this. Where we got a question that came in from Yami, who says, what type of game do you want the Indiana Jones game to be? Thank you from @AWildYami enters. Mario, before we say that, where are your hype levels for a game like this? Nah, this comes with so many caveats that it can go in so many different directions, right? Number one, will it be Xbox exclusive? Obviously, that's why you're here. We love Xbox. That's what we talk about. Is this going to be one? Is this going to be one of the? Phil Spencer came out and said that the Bethesda's games will be on a case-by-case basis, right? Of like titles that will either live in the Xbox ecosystem or then come out and go on to Switch, PlayStation, PC, etc., etc. Do you think it will be technically a first-party game by the time they owe them? Obviously, the ink on this deal was signed well before probably even the other deal was even in talks. So, do you think this is one Xbox hold back for themselves and go, hey, PlayStation have got Uncharted, but we have Indiana Jones now, and it's that tick for tack, yin for yang. Are they going to even be the same style of game? Like, where are your levels? What are your thoughts on that?
I personally want Microsoft to have this as a win so that they can have this sort of exclusive for their platform. If it is a Uncharted or Tomb Raider-esque game, because I feel like they are missing this in their portfolio. Now, is that a Lucas Games initiative of wanting it to be exclusive to one thing? That really depends. However, I think of it in the same way of like when Marvel, well, really Sony, had Spider-Man, right? They have the lockhold on Spider-Man as a character. I think if they can strike a similar deal, or if there is a deal in the work where Indiana Jones could just be exclusive to Xbox and Bethesda games, I think that would actually be pretty beneficial for the platform. Again, like I said, it's up to Lucas, though. We'll see how they perceive this deal.
Yeah, no, my thing is, again, I'm not like the biggest Indiana Jones fan, but I do like Uncharted. So for me, like,
I'm
like,
learning
okay,
that a lot
okay.
this week, by the way. Not a lot of people have seen Indiana Jones.
I've seen. Don't get me wrong. I've seen the films. I'm not like Dornbush. I see he hasn't seen any of them. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? Like, I've seen the films. I was just a bit like, is this really a game series that I care about? And I think initially my mind was like, I don't really care about this. I'm not going to get hyped the way I usually would about something like this. But then I sort of stepped back and was like, well, actually, if you're going to tell me an interesting story, it can be done quite well. And I love Tomb Raider. I've enjoyed Uncharted. And if you can make it first party, give it that level of polish that it would need, this could be really interesting. It could actually tell a way more interesting story than I was giving it credit for when I first saw the news. My first knee-jerk reaction was, who cares? I don't really care. But then like you start to think. Like, I remember obviously Tomb Raider, Rise of the Tomb Raider, which was timed exclusive. I remember when that came out on Xbox. I loved it. I think it's probably my favorite Tomb Raider game of all time. Probably. I'm thinking, maybe I'd have to think about that a bit more, but that's where my mind goes anyway, would be that game. It needs to be done right. I think, if anything, even if this is not an exclusive, obviously I think this comes in Game Pass, which is already a win, in my opinion.
Yes, 100% it's a win.
Like,
the fact that, it's a Bethesda game and probably most likely will end up on Game Pass.
I think 100% it goes in Game Pass. Like, I don't feel like that's something that even hurts the game in any way, shape, or form. What do you want? Do you want a first-person game or a third-person game? I feel like for indie, it needs to be third.
It has to be third. I know that obviously Machine Games are known for making the Wolfenstein games, which have primarily obviously all been first-person. But I can't see a first-person one, so it has to be third. You have to be able to see the character. You have to be able to see him wearing the hat. You have to have him whipping around and like traversal puzzles with the whip. You have to see him, punching Nazis like everyone keeps saying this week. Or of course, by the way, Indiana Jones has fought more than Nazis. It could be anybody, but if you want to punch a Nazi, sure, why not? Apparently, he only fights them. But yeah, 100%. It has to be a third-person action game. As long as it's not a cover shooter, I think we're solid.
100%. Yeah, do you know what? For the Xbox portfolio as well, we don't need another cover-based shooter. We need. You're right. It needs to be a game that they don't have. They don't have third person. They don't have. It needs to be. I want it to be super story heavy though. I want it to be super cutscenes looking beautiful, well lit. I want some ray tracing. I want this to be kind of. It's obviously when the Initiatives game got announced, everyone got excited because oh my god, what am I thinking? What's the game in my head? Project. What is it? Bloody Rare's old title. Oh my god, Perfect Dark.
Oh wait, is Initiative Perfect Dark? Yeah,
Perfect Dark. Jesus, it slipped from my head for a second there. I get it. It was another game that I didn't get excited about, and I'm like, just give me something that I care about, please. And then they showed it. I'm like, give me something. So I'm waiting. I'm still waiting to find something that I care about. But story driven, third person.
Yes.
It has to be those two things. You got super excited when I saw this on Twitter when it came out.
Apparently I was preparing for this.
Yeah. What got you excited in the first place, though? Where I was
so basically, in December, I randomly decided with the lady friend, I was like, "Hey, let's. Do you want to watch Indiana Jones?" And she was like, "Yeah."
Smooth.
And I was like, "Cool. This works. All right, cool." So we basically watched Raiders. And then immediately she was like, when are we watching the next one? And then we watched all of them. We watched all 4 of them. Yes, there are 4 of them.
Yeah.
Including a TV show. So I ended up prepping for this game before I knew this thing ever existed. And that's why I think my hype level is exactly where it is because I wanted more adventures with Indiana Jones. And the fact that I'm going to have a interactive one sounds amazing because I think that's really the only way you should do it because I know that we're getting a 5th movie with Harrison Ford, and honestly, that guy's a tough son of a bitch because he crashed a plane and survived at 70, whatever.
Did he break
crazy
his
man.
ankle on set on one of these before as well?
Yeah, something. Yeah, I think he probably broke an ankle. Yeah, exactly. But this man's still tough, still doing. Oh yeah, he broke it in Star Wars. Yeah, he broke it in Force Awakens.
Okay, got it.
Yeah,
I knew it was one of them.
But yeah, it's one of them. But still, he's still tough. And while I'm happy to see him in the role, I did rewatch Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. That was getting a little rough. But if you watch any of the older ones, man, they're so great about the actual action feels real. So I think that the only way to tell continuous stories, and the best thing about the Indiana Jones movies is that, for the most part, excluding 4,
Yeah.
they're all not really tied to each other, and they
No.
could take place in so many different eras. Like you could go in the Temple of Doom era, which takes place before Raiders of the Lost Ark. You know,
Yeah.
you can go, you can do more with his father, and you can do so much more leading up to this character. There's even that span after Crusade, where he apparently went to war during the Cold War. You know, something.
I don't want
something.
that. I don't
so
want
many
war.
places.
I've got Call of Duty. I don't want war. I don't want war.
No, 100%. Well, even if it's like he has to stop the Ruskies from like getting some, whatever it ends up being, to get the idol of some sort. But looking at the trailer that they showed, of course there was some kind of hints of stuff like with Rome, but then there was also like Mesopotamian like temple stuff. So who knows what they end up doing?
We're gonna move around. I feel like it's not gonna be.
I agree.
The map, it being a map, and the way it's sort of. I feel like we're gonna be going to many different places in this game.
Yes,
which I'm okay with. Like, it doesn't need to be one set place, and this is where we are. But yeah, obviously Rome. The more I think about the game, the more I get excited for it, because I'm like, okay, let me not go in with my preconceptions of like, I don't really care about Indiana Jones. Let this game show me why I should care about Indiana Jones. And I feel like it's the right studio that can do it, because they do have good stories. Wolfenstein, I've played New Colossus, and I played, what is it? New Colossus
New Order?
And New Order.
First Order?
Thank you, yeah.
New Order.
One of the two, yeah. I played those two. Unfortunately, their games usually make me motion sick for some unknown reason.
Sure.
So that's why I'm praying that this is third person, because again, it's like I wanted to continue playing, I just couldn't. I also learned that is it anti-glare or something? I think they have on their games. I had to turn it off. Something like that. I remember, like, I was streaming it one time.
Motion blur?
Motion blur is what I was looking for, yeah. And I was like, dude, this is killing me. I remember just like, I need to stop playing for a second. This is too much. But yeah, it's that weird thing where Xbox keep dropping these little gems. I know Bethesda isn't with Xbox just yet, but it's pretty much almost done. July, I think, is when the deal gets confirmed or not confirmed. I don't see why it wouldn't go through, to be honest with you. So I'm sort of just sat there like, wow, it's another game, it's another series that Xbox have, especially if it's in Game Pass, even if it's not exclusive. I'm not one of these people that sits and is like, has to be exclusive, play it, or it's not real.
I'll take timed.
I don't want time. Time's always because I feel like time's always bad for everybody. It's like you're just gatekeeping for no reason. I feel like Game Pass is their answer to that now, where it's like, do you want to pay $60 or do you want to pay £15 a month? Like,
sure.
What do you want to do? There's so much value in Game Pass, and every time Xbox and Bethesda make an announcement like this, I just go, more value. Obviously, this game's super early. We're not going to be getting this till, God, when do you reckon? When do you reckon we'll get this? What year?
I think we'll get it before Starfield, but I think it's still within those, because it's the same thing as those announcements. It's just a trailer.
Yeah,
Starfield was just a trailer. Yeah. Elder Scrolls was just a trailer. If I had to guess, man, I'd say about 2-3 years, maybe
2024.
I think they've been working on it for a bit. So I think that I could see
2023. I could see 2023 just because they have teased it. It is a license. You kind of already know what you want to do with it, I'm sure. I reckon 2 to 3 years, though. I can see it slipping. I can see delays in our future, of course. Game development. But yeah, I'm more excited than I was initially about this game. Let me know in the emails, my Xbox and Me podcast @gmail.com, or at least respond in the Discord or on Twitter. Are you excited for this? Do you want it to be an exclusive? What does the game need to do for it to be fun? I do agree with you, though, because you brought up puzzles, and I didn't even think about puzzles. Good, interesting puzzles like Tomb Raider. Again, and I'll keep comparing it to that. It could be really fun. Like, a lot more fun than I was giving it credit for. A lot more fun. Moving on, let's jump into what's been in our box. Mario, what have you been playing?
Well, since last night, I've been playing actually Scott Pilgrim. Scott Pilgrim dropped literally last night. I'm a huge fan, obviously, of the books, the movies, and the game when it first came out. And when I played it on 360, I'm pretty positive I have every trophy, unless there was new trophies after the multiplayer stuff that they added afterwards. But I remember completing that game like crazy. But yeah, I'm excited that it's back. I played a little bit of the first level because it's the one thing you forget about, because after you play it 1,000 times years ago, is you unlock everything and then your character's amazing. But you forget that you start at level 1 and you only have like the basic abilities, and then you have to unlock every level and then buy some stuff. So that was a little bit of a shock, because I was like, either I'm terrible at this game or this game is not as great as I remember. But no, it's still pretty great. I also last night was playing with the 6-1 Indie Cast guys. We decided to live stream it on their Twitch. And we played through the first level, sadly, 3 times because there was some network issues.
Yeah, I
so
had the same when we played. Me and Crush plays Streets of Rage 4, and the exact same thing happened to us. Every time we get to an end of a level, it'd freeze up or kick one of us and kick us out of the game. And you're like, oh, it's lucky this game is fun. Otherwise, I'd be really annoyed. Like,
like right before the boss, it was annoying.
Yeah, it happens so many times. Yeah, I've got Scott Pilgrim as well. Haven't played it yet. It's my first new game of the year that came through the inbox of like, do you want to play this? And I was like, do I want to play this? I don't know. Yeah, I guess I better. January's a bit dry for games, so I guess I need to play something new. But I installed it the other day. I think I'm gonna play it through with Haley, because obviously co-op, drop in, drop out.
Oh yeah.
So I think the two of us are gonna play it together, and because she only saw the film for the first time 2 months ago. We watched it we did a Discord watch along, me and a bunch of people, and she was like, what? I don't get this film at all. She didn't hate it, she just didn't understand what the hell was going on, like, because you
never defeated all of her evil exes.
No,
is that something you didn't do?
Exactly. Haley's only been with me. She hasn't got any exes, so she can't quite understand the concept of the film. An ex, what the hell is that?
Why is there a girl there?
You just get with one person, you stay with them for your entire life, and that is it. Okay,
right.
You don't go around.
No one has
people.
Baggage.
No, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Nobody has any baggage. Nobody has any baggage. See, I'm just that amazing, guys. You don't leave me. See, there you go.
That is a gift right there.
Mama Crocodile, get on it. What have I been playing? Do you know what? I haven't played actually anything on my Xbox this week. I've been playing Demon's Souls, which again doesn't matter to this podcast and people listening, but that game sucks. Let me tell you, it sucks in all the best ways, but it sucks. But that's all I've been playing. Like, honestly, it's just taken up most of my time. I played actually that, and I played Rust, which is coming to consoles. It's just got its rating on Rust. Have you been watching the offline TV stuff at all?
No, I have not.
Okay, yeah, I've been watching their server, and honestly, it's some of the funniest moments. So I streamed it 2 days ago. That community is so toxic, though. So I'm really looking forward to it coming to console. I am really looking forward to it coming to console. Is it going to be as good? Probably not. But I'm looking forward to seeing how, hopefully, not so toxic the Xbox community can be. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen. Is it? I got called the M word like 10 seconds in, and literally went in M word. I was like, "What the hell is this?" But yeah, okay, cool. Go on. What?
No, I'm Mexican. What are you talking about? That's so messed up.
Anything else you?
I did play Tetris, the Tetris game, Tetris Connected.
Oh yeah,
Tetris Effect Connected. I actually beat it the main adventure mode or story mode.
Nice.
Man, God, the muscle memory. Oh my God, I can't even speak. Muscle memory of just clicking in but bopping to the beat to that game is so good. And then the last wave is like a 90 wave like gauntlet that you have to do to like this like super techno beat, and it's still so beautiful, so much fun. Probably my favorite Tetris game ever. And this is me going back from like Tetris Worlds from the original Xbox. I just play that on Xbox Live all the time.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I watched Haley play Tetris Effect. She's a huge Tetris fan, and she beat it not too long ago. She's like, beat more games than you this year now, haven't I? I was like, Jesus, calm down. Like, come on. Leave me alone. But yeah, she seems to be having fun with it, so good for her. Let's jump into
Game Pass game.
Fix a Sack real quick. And we got one that says, why are you two so cool? Lol. That, and what are your thoughts on the medium? Really looking forward to it, or not really? From Steven Saylor. You know him, the blind gamer.
I do know
we
that
need to get him
person.
on this show. We should get him on one day.
We should.
What?
You should follow me on Twitter, Sailor. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, damn, he's calling you out.
I'm just going to bully you on.
I think he, do you know what? Let's both bully him. I'm pretty sure he unsubscribed to both my YouTube channels the other day. Pretty sure. Let's both bully him.
Right.
You better resubscribe,
right,
Steven. All right.
I'm clipping this out. I'm sending it directly to you.
Well, your hype levels for the media, and that drops the end of this month.
So, I'm
You're a scaredy cat. I can see it in your face.
I am a scaredy
already.
cat.
Yeah.
I am a scaredy cat. So it took a lot out of me this year to do Resident Evil 4 and to do Resident Evil 7 specific.
Resident Evil 4 is not scary at all.
No, Resident Evil 4 ended up being okay, especially when you get to the later half of the game where you're just like on a rail cart and just fighting a dude in a desert. That was fun.
Yep.
But no, once you get to 7 though, 7 is not fun. The very first couple levels. But once you obviously get the hang of it and you get more ammo, then you're just like, all right, I know how to strafe and go through here. Yeah. But so 100% I'm a scaredy cat, specifically like Silent Hill scaredy cat, where I don't want to touch those games. Those games don't appeal to me in those scary ways. I did watch the movie last year for the first time just to see what it was all about. Yeah. And even then I'm like, no, I would not survive this world. But the medium does look interesting. I will give it a shot. I did try their other games, like I believe they did
Layers of Fear.
Layers of Fear, and then I think they also did Blair Witch, right?
Blair Witch, yeah. I didn't
played
like
a little bit of the Blair Witch.
I didn't like Blair Witch, yeah.
Okay. So I didn't finish it. I just played till it got scary, and I was like, you know what? This is not the game for me. I don't want to be in the woods.
I've been saying it a lot on a lot of podcasts I've been on now, which is Team Blooper. I think they're a great team, but they're 1-for-1 with me. I love Layers of Fear. I thought that game was really well done, and I didn't like Blair Witch. So this one, and the level of excitement that a lot of other people have about this game, because obviously because of the technical ability of what this game is, having the same world look different and things like that, using the power of the SSD and stuff, I'm worried for them that they're gonna have this level of excitement around it, and it's gonna let people down. Because I've got about their games always seem to be walking simulators for all intents and purposes. That's what there's no action. I don't know what people are going in with. I haven't seen the gameplay. I didn't watch the 14-minute gameplay they put out because I want to be scared, and if I see that, then I know it's coming, sort of thing. So I am excited to play it. I'm interested in it, but I'm a little bit apprehensive as well because I'm worried that it's not gonna hit the way I want it to. I'm a huge survival horror fan. Love survival horror. Love scary games. But I like a little bit of action in my games. And these games, you need to the world and the story needs to be really scary to get me. Like Blair Witch just didn't. I was just like, come on, dude, let's just get through this. Me and Haley are playing like, this sucks. This is not what we wanted. This is not what we wanted. We've got a couple more questions come through. One for me, which is from Anubis, who says, how are you dealing with, how you feeling, Fix? Dealing with COVID, hope you're all right. Yes, I'm fine. I'm allowed out today. Today's my first day from my period of not now being transmittable, So in case you missed it, I got COVID. It sucked. Be safe, wear your mask, stop doing unnecessary shit. Like I put on Twitter, I'm so sick of seeing people like, I had to go out, I needed apple pie, which I did. I think that might be why I got COVID. I'm not going to lie to you. I went to go get apple pies. I'm pretty sure that's why I got COVID. But stop going out for dumb shit. You don't need your haircut. Trust me. Look at my afro. It's not good. Let me tell you. Don't need it. Don't risk your life.
That's what hats are for.
Don't risk your life. It's not worth it. But yeah, I'm feeling a lot better. Thank you very much for asking. Got one more question here that says, bad launches like Cyberpunk, Anthem, Avengers, etc. are a leading factor. I feel like this must be from a different question that I've totally missed. Oh no, a leading factor. I feel like we are seeing a growing destruct between games and consumers. Is that really a question? It feels more like a statement.
It does feel more of a statement, and also there's a list of games there, but they all seem a little not the same. Like Cyberpunk, yes. Avengers, sure, it was content less, but I don't think it was that broken the way that most people said. And I thought actually they did a pretty good job fixing it. I play it still to today.
I agree with you.
But
I think the thing people forget with Cyberpunk, Anthem, and Avengers. Again, I played a lot of hours of Avengers and Anthem, not Cyberpunk, and I totally agree with you. Which is my problem with Anthem wasn't the game was broken. Yeah, it had long load times. It was content light. Like, there wasn't anything to do in the game. Same thing for Avengers. Once I beat through that story, and it's a game that they want you to stay in to grind that gear, but you need to give me a reason to grind that gear. There's nothing at the end. There's no Thanos. There's no big bad boss that I am grinding to eventually go beat. Even if they would have said in 3 months' time, there's nothing. There's just nothing there.
Yeah.
And that was my biggest problem with those two games. Cyberpunk is a different. You're 100% right. The game's broken. That's why I don't play it. I refuse to play a broken game where I'm going to log on, the game's going to shut off my Xbox, or I'm going to log on and bugs. And I heard about Greg Miller trying to get the trophies on it and like having to go back 30 hours into his gameplay. All that. So I'm like, nope. I will wait. I will absolutely wait. I am not in a rush to play this game. I'm sure it will be better. I might even now, I'm sitting there waiting, thinking I might just wait for the next gen version at this point. And I'll get to it then, but I'm 100% waiting. Like, nope.
Yeah, I mean, so luckily I wasn't a trophy hunter. I ended up buying it on. Actually, it was given to me as a gift by Logan Moore for Christmas on disc, PS4. A very rare game.
Yeah, I guess so.
You can't get anywhere else on disc, so I'm happy to have it. But I ended up beating it, but still, all those risks, right? That it's. I understand where people come from. They're like, they'll even wait till. And if you've seen that like actual roadmap, it's pretty far out there. Yep. Actually, there's no months, but it looks far.
Yeah.
But yeah, still, I totally understand waiting to this next gen version.
Yeah,
for these games.
I'm in no rush to play it. I wasn't one of the people that was super hyped on it anyway. So for me, it was just a case of, you know what, I can wait. I've got it. It can sit there now and just wait. No problem. Let's get into this week's dashboard. Our first piece of news is Resident Evil Village first gameplay revealed, showcase announcement. As well, this one was taken from IGN and written by Adam Banker. Shout out to Adam, great writer. A Resident Evil showcase will take place on January 21st, 2021 at 2 p.m. PT, 5 p.m. ET, and 10 p.m. GMT. Whoop whoop, GMT. And we'll give a guided tour of Resident Evil Village, a new trailer, the first ever gameplay, and more Resident Evil news. This was revealed on Twitter. Also, it will be hosted by What's Good Games, Brittany how do you pronounce her last name? Brombacher?
Brombacher, yeah.
I did get it right, cool. And Capcom shared a short teaser of what can expect. If you missed it, the teaser is out there. Did you watch it, Mario?
I did. I'm very, very excited about this, especially everyone memeing the tall lady. I think everyone's having a good time with that one.
Yep.
I'm happy for Brittany, who me and her bonded over Resident Evil on What's Good Games. So I'm very excited that she has this opportunity. But yes, I'm excited for this game. After playing 7 and going through literally the entire canon from 2, 3, 4, 5. I played 6 before, and I don't
worry about
remember.
It. Don't worry about it. Keep it moving.
Yeah, 7, which I thought was actually very, for the most part, compelling. So I'm excited to see what story they tell. I remember seeing the trailer for Resident Evil Village and just being immediately viscerally upset by what happens in it. So I'm very curious how that story will play out.
As everybody knows, I'm a huge Resident Evil fan. Yes, for those who have been asking, because I've been getting a lot of tweets, am I going to be live reacting to it? 100%. Twitch.tv/MCFixer. Come and watch along with me, 10 p.m. GMT on the 21st. I'm interested to see where this goes, because we now know, we know Resident Evil 4 remakes in the works. That's pretty much been leaked. I didn't look at any other leaks. I just saw that title because I don't want to see any other information on this game. So I'm scared. I saw all those leaks come out. I was like, don't look. Whatever you do, don't look. The game's been spoiled. No. So I'm waiting on that. The thing that's got me more interested, though, is, don't get me wrong, looking forward to seeing Resident Evil Village, is I got an email today announcing it's the Resident Evil's 21st anniversary, and do I want to join the beta for this online thing? And I'm like, oh no, they're doing another online game. Resistance wasn't good. In the end, it wasn't what Resident Evil fans wanted. It wasn't what non-Resident Evil fans wanted. It was a pack-in, obviously, with 3, which they seemed to think that was okay, and it wasn't. I'm interested to see what they can do on the multiplayer front. I want a good Resident Evil multiplayer game. Like, I think I've been screaming it for a while that I want Resident Evil. It's called Resident Evil Outbreak. I don't know if you ever played it on the PS2.
I've heard of
Outbreak 1 and Outbreak 2, which they are made for online. Like, before, we didn't have online back then, or at least I didn't. I didn't have the adapter, and my mum couldn't afford internet at the time. So I remember playing those games being like, this feels weird. It was clearly designed for an online experience, right? And now I'm praying that this beta, for whatever it is, might be like a Resident Evil Outbreak, and that would be dope.
Yeah.
But to bring it back to Resident Evil 8, can't call it 8, Village, even though they put 8 in the title like idiots.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm very happy to hopefully this be Ethan's story done, because I can't stand Ethan. I think he's a terrible character, because the character's meant to be you. That's the problem when you put a game like this in VR. Like,
Yes.
you are the character, so it then doesn't give the character any real life, if I'm being honest.
100%.
So I'm looking
he's
forward
not
to
as
watching,
iconic as those other characters.
No, I'm looking forward to watching Chris murder his wife, and can't wait to find out why. So really, you were upset by that, right? Me, my first playthrough, I left her on the boat. I left her back, and I was like, "See you, bitch. I don't care. I'm out. Nope. No, thank you. I'm good." Like, I was like, no, I am A-okay. I like Zoe. I'm saving her. Come on, Zoe, let's go. Obviously, I've done both. And you can clearly tell the game's like, you sure? You sure you want to do that, bro? I'm like, I didn't want to come to his house in the first place to get her. She tried to murder me how many times? I am good, Zoe. Let's leave. Here's your cure. Let's go. Get on the boat. We're going.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, no, I understand that. But thematically, like, the whole point of you going to save her, and then for this trailer to begin with her getting capped by Chris Redfield, was like, what the hell is happening? Like, what is this, like, new Umbrella? Like, why is Chris involved? Like, after even playing 5, I'm like, there's no way he would be involved in this. So I'm curious. I didn't end up playing into the DLC, so I don't know if it's explained why he's part of that yet. But,
no. There's no. We don't know. The whole thing was the surprise at the end of 7. That we're like, why is that? Why is the emblem now blue and not red? The Umbrella one. And all that stuff. So yeah, it's it's an interesting. It's
one to finding out. I do love I do love that the new aspect of everything and how they're going to sort of tell like these Transylvanian tales with like this castle, these like potentially vampire ladies, and this
werewolves. It's
witches, and I think that's
not
cool.
What I want from the series, honestly.
No,
I've said
it's not what I want either. But if they're able to tie a virus to the reason why these exist, then I think that's kind of cool. The way that they're like, if they do a fun twist on it, that's what I'm interested in for sure. But I'm curious of like how long this has been going on in that area, and but we'll see how that ends up being. But I mean, I think I'm definitely interested to see in the new venue what it's going to be. And like I said, I'm not particularly fond of spooky games, especially specifically the first person ones. Don't even try to get me in the VR, which I'm shocked they didn't really say anything about this one about being VR. I don't know. I
feel like the first one was very much like, we got PlayStation VR, you need to do this. And this one feels less, we didn't get a bag this time, so we're not going to talk about it as much.
Fair enough.
That's how it feels to me. I could be wrong.
Yeah. I am interested, obviously, that email, because I've heard from other people that also received that email. I think Brittany and we joked about potentially like it could have been a battle royale. But it could be in the battle, but not in the battle royale, like in the traditional sense. Not in the traditional sense. But like everyone has to run to like the train station, and then the survivors that survive the train, like in this town, this city, and like sort of like like everyone has to like go to the escape route and make it there while fighting monsters and stuff along the way.
So PvP as well. You're talking.
It could be PvP. I'm just saying, like, that was just us spitballing. Like, what would be a good idea for a Resident Evil battle royale? And I think it would be like the end of like Resident Evil 2, where there's a time limit and you got to get to the end zone. If you don't make it to the end zone, you don't make the game. I mean,
like the idea of a gas coming into a town and it's forcing you. It's forcing you to somewhere instead of a circle bringing you in. I like that idea, to be honest with you. But will they do it? Who knows? And to be honest with you, I'm a huge Resident Evil fan. I'm in the subreddits. Resident Evil fans are going to shit all over it. Doesn't matter what it is. If it's not what they want, let me tell you. If it's not single player story driven narrative survival horror, God, Resident Evil fans hate it. We hate it. I got to admit, I want those. So
yeah. I'm curious if there's any other Resident Evil news, if it is any Resident Evil 4 stuff. But also, don't forget, we have like 3 movie TV show projects that they could maybe slide in here.
No, I don't think so. I think this is going to be strictly about the game. No, I think we'll get the game and we'll find out something about whatever this online game thing is. But again, it could be, who knows? But yeah, it could be interesting. We'll see. We'll have to wait and see.
For sure.
Next up, Bungie archives of old Halo stats, screenshots, and more is going offline next month. This one was taken by IGN as well. Bungie announced that it will close its Halo archives in February, which means player stats, screenshots, and files from the developers' Halo games will be gone forever. Detailed as part of the studio's weekly update blog post, Bungie explained on February 9th that halo.bungie.net website will be taken offline permanently. Player stats, file screenshots from Halo 2, Halo 3, ODST, and Reach are currently stored on the website, although those archives have not been updated in almost 9 years. Mario, a piece of history is leaving us.
Yeah, rest in peace. I visited that website many times. I've seen my screenshots, my stats, my KD.
Yeah.
How awesome I used to be on Halo, and now it's gonna not be a record.
What happened? Why'd you get rubbish?
Exactly.
Again, everyone who listens to this know I have no affinity for Halo. Unfortunately, if this was Gears, I'd probably be crying because I used to live on Gears.
Sure.
But yeah, I wanted to put this out there for people. Obviously, go and get your screenshots, go and get your stats. It's stuff that you're gonna want to keep, even if you keep it in a folder somewhere that you think you don't care. You're gonna get old one day and be like, I want to be able to tell my kids I was good. So go and get this information if you care about it. So.
Yeah, make a slideshow of all of it and put that sad Fast and Furious song in front of it, and then boom,
it's
there you
been
go.
a long day
That's
without
right.
you, my friend. You didn't think I'd keep going, did you? But I'll tell you all that. Yeah, anyway. Moving on. Ubisoft's Riders Republic has delayed. Ubisoft's upcoming open world extreme sports multiplayer massive player ground Riders Rubblers it doesn't even matter. Riders Republic has been delayed until 2021, previously set for Feb 25th. I don't know why delayed until 2021. It is 2021. That makes it sound like it's so far away, right?
For the future.
Previously set for February 25th, PC, PS5, PS4, Stadia, and Xbox Series X and S. The developer announced its release has moved to later this year without giving a new release date or month. The full statement is this. Hey Riders, in September we gave you a first look at our massive multiplayer playground in Riders Republic. We promised an action-packed outdoor sports park filled with all-out mass races with more than 50 few riders on next-gen consoles. A variety of the diverse activities and insane stunts. We can't wait to have you traverse our vibrant world and live out your own rider's fantasy. So, there you have it. There's more, but it's just them saying about how the game's been delayed. Are you excited for this one, Mario? Not excited? How you feeling? That face tells me everything.
Yeah, this would have been a game that I would have tried that Ubisoft Plus service just to see it and then play for it for it's like Steep or any of those games where I'm I've dabbled in it, but I've not been I'm going to spend a lot of time here. The only game mode that looked anywhere near interesting was the Tony Hawk graffiti mode that I saw in the trailer. I know the Blessing's hype for this. As a fun joke for the first couple days when I'll play with a bunch of friends if I get enough people to play this game. But otherwise, it's not something that appeals to me greatly.
The Battle Royale mode seemed interesting. That big, do you remember they had the big hill?
Oh, them running down the
big hill thing? That seemed interesting, and maybe, I always look at it from a content point of view, right? Which is maybe I could get some good content out of that.
Sure.
But other than that, I'm I played Steep, I hated Steep, I'm not going to like this. So,
yeah.
I will, the one thing I will say is, I do feel bad for them, because I felt like you had a better chance of me playing this in February, compared to wherever they move this game to afterwards. Because there is so much coming out this year, and there's a bunch of stuff we don't even know about yet, that I'm sort of here what's next? What's next for us? And then obviously we get more delays, unfortunately. Moving on. Hey, Hogwarts Legacy delayed until 2022. Harry Potter RPG Hogwarts Legacy has been delayed into 2022 in order to, quote, give the game the time it needs, end quote. In a statement on Twitter, a spokesperson explained, quote, we'd like to thank fans from around the world on the tumultuous reaction to the announcement of Hogwarts Legacy from our Portkey Games label, creating the best possible experience for all our Wizarding World and gaming fans in the panther for us. So we're giving the game the time it needs. Hogwarts Legacy will be released in 2022. Now, I have a thought on this. Does the game need more time, or do they want people's minds to forget that J.K. Rowling said bad things about trans people and she's a heinous woman?
Yeah, I think that actually, I honestly, yes. And, FJK Rowling, that's just my personal
100%, stance. Yup.
Yep, 100%. But also, yeah, I can absolutely see them doing that. I think any fixes and anything could also be done, which is great. Just optimize it like crazy. You have a whole year now. Thank you at least for putting that statement out. But yeah, 100%. I think we need to be separated from this person as much as possible. I know that they're filming the movie too, so they might be closer to tie it to that, which I think got delayed as well.
Fantastic Beasts.
Fantastic Beasts, because they're doing 4 and 5, like 3 and whatever whatever number they're on, because they also had to recast Johnny Depp, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So it probably makes more sense of them to tie it with that movie, if that's what they're probably leaning it towards. But yeah, the separation I think will help. There's a lot of things that need some separation. I think this is probably something that could be one of them. I'm trying to see it in this year, though, of what we got upcoming. And, I mean, it's a blow, but then there's probably things that we still don't know that's going to happen later this year that will take up that time anyways.
I've said I am so torn on this game. I have trans friends, and Laura obviously being one of them.
Yeah.
Plenty of people know. And I will be trying my best to follow her lead on this, because I've said time and time again, if this was a racist person and they were benefiting from it, and we knew they were racist, and they said disgusting things, would I keep the same energy? Would I be sitting on this podcast going, we're boycotting this game, right? So I have to take the lead from people that I know who this affects and figure out what the hell I'm going to do with it. I want to have this same conversation in 2022, though, when it's coming. I want to keep reminding people that J.K. Rowling probably is going to benefit from this game in terms of money, and we need to figure out how that sits with us as a society if we're going to support these type of people, especially in our industry. So, we have to wait and see, and just keep having the conversations, I think.
Yeah, and I have a lot more to say on that, but I think I think for the story as of now, that's where it needs to be.
Moving on, Lucasfilm Games announced multiple projects in 2021, including EA Star Wars games. Lucasfilm Games have announced an open-world Star Wars game from Ubisoft and an Indiana Jones game, which we had already spoken about. On StarWars.com, Lucas Games VP Douglas Riley explained that the recent Lucasfilm Games rebrand, quote, is really to communicate a communication of years of preparation to come out and say, we're here. We've got a team of people. We're going to make a lot of great games. And here are some new things you weren't expecting from us to do that we are now starting to do. And that's going to continue throughout the next year or so. We're working... where that's what it says, where we're going to continue to announce projects that are more representative of the legacy of the old Lucasfilm games that are now trying to live up to. Obviously, the first one that comes out of this is Ubisoft Massive's game, which was announced.
It's massive.
It's a massive announcement. Where are you at on this? Obviously, Massive making a new RPG in the Star Wars world. How does that make you feel?
I mean, first of all, hey, the tyranny is over for 10 years of EA games that either have done very, very poorly or now pretty successful.
Yeah.
So I think them no longer having the stranglehold on Star Wars is the biggest news. But obviously the fact that Ubisoft now is going to have a chance at the Star Wars mantle for the first time I've seen. In terms of Massive as a company, in terms of their games, I mean, I played Division 1. I played a little bit of Division. I actually never finished Division 2.
Okay.
I enjoyed my time with Division 1. However, I hope, and then this is, everyone's having their speculations, and yes, game companies can make different games. We literally just said that about Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
How we don't want it to be a first-person game. We want it to be a third-person game. I'm sure that they could break out the box. I just wasn't as impressed by the Massive games so far, so I'm very curious to see what they can do. And But then again, there's the other equation, which is the Ubisoft aspect of it, which very much I also have expectations of Ubisoft games that I don't necessarily want in a Star Wars game, including towers and synchronization points.
You don't have Division.
I know they're not going to
have
have that.
Division doesn't.
They're going to have that, but
so.
most of their games do. Like even the Far Cry games have that. Like
Again, but that's not Massive. Massive don't have that.
No,
it's
not.
Games.
It's not that. That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm trying to conflict the two.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's massive, and whatever they decide to do, and if they're going to break out their mold, then by all means, or it's going to be a live service game. Whatever they decide to do, we'll find out. But then, of course, there's that Ubisoft caveat of like, well, there are going to be points on the map where you have to go do these things, and there's always something, which is fine. My whole thing is, I think a slimmer approach is where we should have these games, similar to like the last game they just did, Respawn's game, Jedi. I felt that it was a pretty concise version of what a Star Wars game could be, and I'm curious about what they're going to do with like an open world version of it. It's got to have to be filled with stuff, but I am curious now where it's set in the timeline. I'm curious about like I don't know, like there wasn't a lot of details, which is fine. But it gives us a lot of time to speculate.
For me, I'm actually more interested in a Division, say Star Wars game. As someone who's not. I'm not a Star Wars guy. Like Jar Jar Binks is my favorite Star Wars character. That's not a meme. Like people hate me for it. I know. But seriously, like for me, it's to see Massive move away from Division. I think is a good thing because I feel like I agree with you with Division 2. It was like I beat both games. I loved the Division 1. Play a bunch of it. Me and Alfredo. Yeah. Like it was literally what we were doing all the time. I was waking up at 4:00 in the morning to play that game with him. Like every single day.
I played with Gary Whitta for a while.
Yeah.
It was fun. Yeah.
And then Division 2, it just didn't have that same love that it needed. So I'm interested to see them move on to something different, Massive. I'd love, because I'm looking for my next game that I'm going to want to grind. And if you put it in the Star Wars world, I like the Star Wars world. It's never quite got me like the way it does some people, like the way obviously super fans love that. I just want a nice open world game where I can tick off boxes and I can enjoy a Star Wars game for the first time. I don't need it to be smaller, and I don't even need story. Like just give me a world I can play in where I can do menial tasks and feel super, that's all I need.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely like I'm curious of like what route we're gonna go with, because I feel like Respawn's got the Jedi thing down. I don't think we need to keep making Jedi games.
No.
If you could be maybe bounty hunters, but again, that treads to a lot of the past games that have been canceled.
But I don't think you can get away from that. I don't think you can. No matter what they do, they're gonna get compared to that because it's Star Wars. Yeah. It doesn't matter what they do; it's going to get compared to Amy's old game. We know what we could have had, and that's why a lot of people get upset, right? We saw that and was like, "Wow, that's what we were getting, or we could have had," and then we didn't get that. You're like, "Oh, that was it. That was it. And we don't know if that was it because we didn't get to play the damn thing." But you see this little vertical slice of it, and you're like, that was it. That's what we wanted. And the thing with me with this whole, like, we're going to move on quickly, which is EA comments on making more Star Wars games after Lucas film and Ubisoft partnership. Yeah. And EA have come out saying they're still working on games in the Star Wars world. We assume that's just Jedi. And they do say for years to come. So I like what they're doing with Star Wars now, though. Taking it away from one company and letting it be like, hey, you've got a cool Star Wars idea. Let's hear it. And that's what they can now do with Lucasfilm operating the way they are. I don't think it was a good idea giving Star Wars to EA for 10 years and being like, you're the ones that make Star Wars now. We see what happened. It didn't work out the way people wanted it to. Now we get to have, like you said, you want smaller experience? Cool. I want AAA, like massive to make that game, and we can get all these different experiences that maybe will bring new fans in of the genre and of the series. So, which is weird to say new fans when it comes to Star Wars, but I swear, people dislike Star Wars.
Every day.
There's me.
There's a new fan every day.
You can turn me, please. Try.
Try.
It was alluded to earlier in the show, but Cyberpunk 2077's upgrades set for second half of 2021. I don't want to go too much into this, apart from we can talk about a little bit of. Did you see the apology video?
I did watch the apology video.
What did you think? So, for those who don't know, Cyberpunk's co-founder, Mark, how do you say his name?
Iwinski
came out in a Twitter video, which also got posted to YouTube stuff, and said words like "own up," and said the leadership team didn't take enough responsibility. They then went on to then criticize the QA team though, and a few other things. Why would you come out and make an apology video where it starts really well and ends really poorly? Like, it just didn't make sense to me. Obviously, I think my thing is we put too much weight into companies, and us consumers and whatever it is you want to call us, influencers and stuff, people hype this game up so high, it was always going to foul. Like, it was always going to foul. Did we know it was going to be a broken mess? No. But I do think we need to take a step back and remember these are companies and they are hardworking people that work at these companies. Leadership teams need to start taking a lot more responsibility. And whenever I see QA testers get thrown under the bus, it makes me feel sick, especially considering I know QA testers. It's the lowest point in the totem pole. They're the ones that get the crap work. They're the ones that sit there for hours upon hours testing the game. They're such a vital part of video games. And to see the video come out and it's like, the way it comes across to me is just so wrong. I don't know how you felt watching it, but that's how I know.
No, you nailed it out on the head. 100%. I was like, okay, cool, you're getting to this apology, but then you threw away the people that would have told you about all these problems, and probably did, and you did not listen to them, and you proceeded forward, and like the top of your apology, it was the blame was laid on you guys for making the decisions.
Yep.
So I'm 100% like to say things like that towards the people that are having to deal with these bugs on a daily basis and try to provide the information needed, I thought was really low.
Yeah, it annoyed the crap out of me. It rubbed me the wrong way, and I was just like, wow, like, who proved this afterwards? Like, that was a good idea. It's what always gets me. Like, all right, Sirens, chill out. Who proved me? Like, who proved this and was like, hey, maybe we shouldn't say that part? Nobody. Clearly nobody.
No.
Games with gold.
Is this graphic good? We're not going to put any of the months on it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, dude. The graphic is just whatever. It leaves them to then not have to be held accountable for anything. That's why they've done it that way. We will get to it, but we're not going to give you a date because we could miss that date. And look what happened with the game, which is delay. We don't want that with fixes where people have paid hard money for it now. So, yeah, man. It's a shame. It's a real shame. Games with gold this month, you've got Little Nightmares January 1st to January 31st, Dead Rising January 16th to February 15th, and Kings of Fighters January 1st to January 15th. Breakdown January 16th to January 31st. Let's plug, and get ourselves out of here, Mario. What you got to plug this week, my friend?
Yes, so if you want to go to youtube.com/DualShockers, you should see a plethora of new videos that are coming out this week. Ricky Frag doing his fun videos called The First 30s, which is just him ranting over very indie games and just sort of giving his commentary and playing the game for the first time. Then, of course, you have our discussion videos, which is basically podcast form and topics. We have the Indiana Jones discussion, and of course, we have a Star Wars discussion. We also have some videos like our editorial team just did a preview for Persona 5 Strike. I keep forgetting the name of that game. It's Persona 5 Strikers. Yeah, and then, of course, if you like Scott Pilgrim, want to hear about Scott Pilgrim, we have Nick and Cameron Hawkins talking about Scott Pilgrim. So there's a whole lot of stuff you can find at the YouTube, which, of course, we have months and months of stuff, months of conversation. So if you liked the game last year, maybe we'll have a conversation about it that you want to listen to. And then, of course, you can find me, that Mario Rivera on Twitter. I'm eating followers like Galactus, so I'm very excited about that. And then twitch.tv/that Mario Rivera.
Nice. Thank you so much for coming on, dude. I really do appreciate it.
Yeah, this was a great honor. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody. You can find me everywhere at MC Fixer. You know where to find me. What are we pushing this week? More MC Fixer. YouTube.com/more MC Fixer. Got a second channel. We've got myself. We got Nick working on it, who is our editor for that channel pretty much at the moment. Gameplay It's what people have been asking for, but I moved it over to a separate channel. Main channel content's
Sure.
coming soon, but you will see that very, very soon. But yeah, youtube.com/more-mcfixer. If you haven't subscribed to that, I'm at 100 and plus. Let's hit 1,000. Let's go for it. Let's grind it out. If you do enjoy my content, you want to see my Twitch streams turn into well-edited videos, that is the place to go. So thank you all for watching once again, and until next time, I will love you, leave you, and see you all later. Goodbyes.